Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be covering fractions from the numbers chapter of IGCSE Mathematics. We'll go over mixed and improper fractions, converting them, then the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division of fractions with a few examples, and writing numbers as percentages and fractions. So first off, I'll be covering how to convert mixed numbers to improper fractions. So you always realize that mixed numbers start off with a whole number and then a fraction. And the way we convert this into an improper fraction would be to multiply the denominator with the whole number and then add that number with the numerator. So what I mean is you should multiply and do 8 into 2 and that plus 3 to get your numerator, and then your denominator will remain the same as 8. So 8 into 2 is 16 plus 3, that's 19. So your answer should be 19 by 8. Now we'll use the same improper fraction and convert it into a mixed fraction. Here you should be using long division, so I suggest thoroughing yourself with how to do that. We'll start off with 19 by 8, and whenever we do this long division, 19 is supposed to go inside and 8 is supposed to go outside. So the denominator stays out and the numerator goes in. So just a very simple basic way of doing this is 8 into 2 gives you 16, but 8 into 3 gives us more than 19. 8 into 3 actually gives us 24. So we'll have to use 8 into 2 to give us 16, and the difference between that is 3. Now we always write the mixed fraction starting off from the top, and then we work our way clockwise so that we end up with 8 being the denominator. So 2 will be our whole number, then our remainder will be our numerator, and 8 will be the denominator. You'll notice that the denominator remains the same. So just a quick recap, for mixed fractions to improper fractions, you have to multiply denominator with the whole number, then you have to add that answer with your numerator to give you the numerator of your improper fraction, and the denominator will be the same. So it will be 8 in this case. Then from improper fractions to mixed fractions, you have to use long division. You start off from the top and you work your way clockwise. 2 would be the whole number, the remainder would be the numerator, and the denominator would always be the same. So I suggest that every time you get any questions regarding fractions, for example with multiplication, addition, division, or subtraction, it's best to convert those mixed fractions to improper fractions as they become easier to work with. So now I'll start off with addition and subtraction of fractions. They're quite simple and they follow a basic rule. So for the addition and subtraction, there are a few rules you should be aware of. You should always take the LCM of the denominators and then equate the denominators to each other. So whatever change you make in a fraction to the denominator, the same change has to be applied to the numerator. So what I mean is, let's start off with an example. Maybe 9 by 8 plus 2 by 3. So the first thing I said was to take the LCM of the denominators. So we have 8 and 3 as our denominators, and the LCM would be that's 6 into 4, and that's 24. So if you don't know how to take LCMs, I'd suggest watching our first video for the numbers chapter. There we cover LCM and HCF and so on. So right now because my LCM is 24, I have to make the denominator of both of my fractions equal to 24. Now I have to multiply it with a certain number to get it to 24. So you should know that 8 into 3 should give me 24. And because I'll have to multiply the denominator with 3, I also have to make the same change to the numerator. So into 3 up as well. So 9 into 3 is 27, and 8 into 3 is 24. Now I have to work with 2 by 3. So I have to change the denominator from 3 to 24, and 24 divided by 3 is 8. So I have to multiply 3 with 8 to give me 24, and the same change has to be applied to the numerator. So it will be 2 into 8. Now 2 into 8 is 16, and 3 into 8 is 24. Now that the denominators are the same, I can actually write it as 27 plus 16 upon 24. Now we do simple addition in the top. 27 plus 16 is 43, so you get 43 by 24. And that is your answer for this part of the question. So the reason why I say that we need to apply the same change we make to the denominator to the numerator is because these fractions are basically ratios. Let's say, for example, we're given the number 50 by 100, and we were asked to simplify this. We would see what the common number would be between them. For example, both of these numbers can be divided by 10. So if I divide this by 10, I get 5 upon 10, right? And then I can further divide this by 5, so I get 1 by 2. So the same way we divided 50 by 10 in the beginning to give us 5, we also had to divide 100 by 10 to give us 10. So whatever changes we apply to the numerator or the denominator, the same change has to be applied to the other. That's how you keep the numbers at the proper ratio they are in their fractions. Like 1 by 2 is equal to 0.5. 5 by 10 is also equal to 0.5. 50 by 100 is also equal to 0.5. So that's why we have to make the appropriate changes to both the numerator and the denominator. So let's do another question. For this part, let's do 2 by 4 plus 3 by 16. Now I have to take the LCM of 4 and 16. So if I did 2, sorry. Okay, so the LCM of 4 and 16 is 16. So you don't always actually have to take the LCM. If you can see that, for example, 16 is a multiple of 4, to make the denominators the same as each other, I can simply multiply this 4 with 4 over here. And then obviously I'd have to make the same change to the numerator. So this would become 8 by 16 plus 3 by 16. Now I don't have to make any change to this one over here because the denominator is already 16, which is the LCM we calculated. So you can write this as 8 plus 3 upon 16. So that's 11 by 16. Now another example, I would suggest you pause the video and attempt solving all these questions by yourself and then checking what the answer is. So for this question, we'll do subtraction. I'll be using 12 by 5 minus 2 by 3. So again, I have to take the denominator, the LCM of the denominators. So for 5 and 3, it will just be 5 and 3. So that's 15. Now I have to make the denominator of this number, this fraction from 5 to 15, I'd have to multiply it by 3. So the same change has to be applied to the numerator. So 12 into 3 is 36 by 15. minus, now I have to change this number to 15. So 3 into 5 will give me 15. So if I multiply the denominator by 5, I also have to multiply the numerator with 5. 2 into 5 is 10, 3 into 5 is 15. Now I can write these together. It's 36 minus 10 upon 15. So that's 26 by 15. So now we'll be doing another question. So the question is 2 by 8 plus negative 14 by 3. Now it's up to you to decide, is this addition or subtraction? So although there is a plus sign over here, you should know that if you add a positive integer with a negative integer, it is the same as subtraction. What I mean is 2 by 8 plus negative 14 by 3 is the same as 2 by 8 minus 14 by 3. You can try this on your calculator and see that it is in fact true. Now if I took the LCM of the denominators 8 and 3, it would be 24. So I would have to apply the corresponding changes again to equate the denominators to 24. So 8 into 3 would give me 24. I would have to multiply 2 with 3. And then 3 into 8 will give me 24. So I'd have to multiply 14 with 8. So 2 into 3 is 6. 8 into 3 is 24. Minus 14 into 8 is 112. And 24, this is 3 into 8. So that's basically 6 minus 112 upon 24. And that's minus 106 upon 24. And that can further be simplified to negative 53 upon 12. So that's it for the addition and subtraction part. Now we'll be moving on to multiplication of fractions. This is perhaps the easiest part because it's quite simple. So let's say we're given the number 2 by 3 into 4 by 5. So the way multiplication with fractions work is that you multiply them as they are. So you would have to multiply the numerator of one with the other, and then you would have to multiply the denominator of one with the other. So in this case, 2 into 4 should give me 8, and then 3 into 5 should give me 15. So my answer would be 8 by 15. So you just have to multiply the numerators together and multiply the denominators together to get your final answer. So let's say we were given negative 2 by 10 into 15 by 5. So negative 2 into 15 is negative 30, and then 10 into 5 is 50, and this can further be simplified to negative 3 by 5. Now moving on to division of fractions. So let's say we're given the example 1 by 2 divided by 3 by 5. So to do division, what you should do is reciprocate the second fraction and then continue on with multiplication. So if you don't know what reciprocating is or making a reciprocal, I suggest watching the first numbers video lesson because there I cover what reciprocals are. But essentially, to make a reciprocal, you would simply have to flip the fraction. So you always reciprocate the second fraction when it comes to division. So 1 by 2 would remain as it is. Division would have to change to multiplication, and the second fraction would be reciprocated. So it will be flipped over. So instead of 3 by 5, it will be 5 by 3. And then you carry on with regular multiplication. So 1 into 5 is 5, and 2 into 3 is 6. Let's say we had another example. Negative 2 by 10 divided by 3 by 10. So negative 2 by 10 will remain the same. Division will change to multiplication, and the second fraction will be reciprocated. So it will be flipped over. So it would be 10 by 3 instead of 3 by 10. Now I continue with regular multiplication. So negative 2 into 10 is negative 20, and then 10 into 3 is 30. This is equal to negative 2 by 3. Now, in case it was not division, let's say it was multiplication, it would be negative 2 by 10 into 3 by 10. I would just continue on with regular multiplication. Negative 2 into 3 is negative 6, and 10 into 10 is 100. So this would be negative 3 by 50. It would be simplified to negative 3 by 50. So that is all for the multiplication and division of fractions. The rules are quite simple. With multiplication, you just multiply the fractions with each other, numerator with numerator and denominator with denominator. And with division, you have to change division to multiplication. The first fraction will stay the same. The second fraction will be reciprocated, as in flipped over, and then you carry on with regular multiplication of fractions. Now we'll be moving on to writing numbers as fractions or percentages. So it's best to use an example for this. So let's say we were told to write 200 as a fraction of 180. So as a fraction is our key phrase over here. Whenever you see this phrase over here, the following steps are what must be applied. So the number that is given before the phrase, let's take that as x. And the number given after the phrase, let's take that as y. So essentially what the question is telling us to do is to write x as a fraction of y. So in case the question is given like this, the numerator will always be x and the denominator will always be y. So when I'm told to write 200 as a fraction of 180, I should write 200 by 180 because 200 will be my numerator and 180 will be my denominator. And then this can further be simplified to 10 by 9. Now, in case it wasn't writing as a fraction, instead they asked me to write 200 as a percentage of 180. Now over here, the key phrase is as a percentage. And the number before that, I will take that as x again, and the number after the phrase, I'll take that as y. So the same way we made our fractions with x as numerator and y as denominator, we'd have to do the same here. But the only difference is because this has to be written as a percentage as opposed to a fraction, we have to multiply our fraction with 100. So applying that into the answer, what I mean is to write 200 as a numerator upon 180 as the denominator. So far it's the exact same as the previous part, but because it has to be as a percentage, I have to multiply this fraction with 100. And then the answer would be 111.1%. Now it makes complete sense that it is above 100%. That is because over here 200 is greater than 180, so it covers more than 180. So definitely the percentage should be above 100. Now I'll be moving on to writing percentage, or sorry, calculating percentage change. So in the formula for percentage change is very simple. It's new minus old upon old into 100. So normally in your question papers, you'll be asked to calculate percentage change when you're dealing with different prices. And let's say there's a sale, then you have a reduced percentage, or prices have increased, and the percentage would be positive. So basically, percentage change can be either positive or negative. Now, in the case where it is positive, that means the price has increased. That means the new price is always going to be greater than the old price. And if the percentage change is negative, that means there's been a decrease. So the old price would have been greater than the new price. This question here is from Summer 20, question paper 42. It's question number 1, part B1 and B2. So I've actually uploaded the solution for this question previously, but I'll be using this question to explain this concept. So in this question, we were told that in a sale, the original prices are reduced by 15%. So over here, our percentage change should be negative 15% because it's a reduction in price. Now we have to calculate the sale price of a book that has an original price of $12. So the original price is our old price. And we need to calculate our sale price, which is our new price. So using the formula new minus old upon old into 100 to give me the percentage change. I will take our new price as x, as that is what we need to calculate. So x minus 12, which is our old price, upon 12 into 100 should equal to negative 15%. The reason why it's negative 15 is because the question specifically said that the prices are reduced by 15%. So our percentage change is negative. So now we would simply solve for x as usual. This would become x minus 12 upon 12 is equal to minus 0.15 because it's negative 15. That will be divided by 100 because here it's being multiplied by 100, so when it goes to the right hand side it will be divided by 100. And now that's x minus 12 is equal to negative 0.15 into 12. Because here it's being divided by 12, if it goes to the right hand side it has to be multiplied by 12. You get negative 1.8. So x will equal to negative 1.8 plus 12. Because negative 12 moving to the right hand side will become positive 12. So negative 1.8 plus 12 is positive 10.2. So this here is our sale price or our new price. Now we have to calculate the original price, so the old price, of a jacket that has a sale price of that much. So this is our new price. And because this is part 2 of question B, I'm assuming that the percentage change remains the same, that it is negative 15%. So the new price, new minus old upon old into 100 is equal to negative 15%. So the new price over here is 38.25 minus the old price, which is x, upon the old price, which is x, into 100 is equal to negative 15. So that's 38.25 minus x upon x is equal to negative 0.15. So you solve for x as usual. 38.25 minus x is equal to negative 0.15x. Then 38.25, this minus x will move to the right hand side, so it will become plus x. So that's is equal to negative 0.15x plus x. Now negative 0.15 plus 1 is 0.85x is equal to 38.25. Now 38.25 divided by 0.85, because here it's being multiplied, so moving to the left hand side will be division. That's 45. So x is equal to 45, and that is our answer for this part. So that is it for this lesson. I hope it makes sense. If it did, consider liking and subscribing. If you have any other questions or doubts you would like us to solve, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.